What's up everyone, I'm back and I am doing a similar video to the other one I did where I will be playing games of Community World, which I highly recommend for learning meta and how to get better at GeoGuessr. And I will be kind of explaining my thought process as it goes and hopefully I don't sell. Okay, here we go, round one. So basically the clouds, these are going to be cirrus clouds, and those are very common in western Ecuador. In all seriousness though, we have this antenna with the little wire around it. This specific one with one wire around it is in Ecuador, Colombia, Mexico, and Brazil. So those are the four countries you can narrow it down to. Between those, we don't have any Brazilian poles, which Brazilian poles are like this one, but there's nothing in the middle. Like it's just complete. Well, actually, no, this looks like a Brazilian pole. Okay, what can I say? What makes this Ecuador? Huh. I guess the like random banana plants make it Ecuadorian. Ecuador has a lot of signs with either green or blue on the back. This pole specifically is Ecuadorian, but it's kind of hard to describe. But yeah, very, very green country, very tropical. This truck says Manabi on it, and that is a province. I'm pretty sure it's this province here near Manta, but I'll check. You can always check by looking in. So yeah, this seems like the right area, and I don't know, it's somewhere over here. Oh, all the way northeast here. All right, next round. Interesting. Anisacate. Okay, this one looks like Argentina to me, but it's honestly kind of a difficult round. I'd say Argentina because Argentina has a lot of these street signs where it's like one post with two signs coming out of it. Usually they're black, but they can be a bunch of different colors. So this style of street sign is super common in Argentina, as well as like Chile and Uruguay. Uruguay does not have Gen 4 coverage, so maybe that's kind of why it couldn't be there. And then in terms of where in Argentina, Anisacate, but I don't know where that would be. It did say the 5 though. Where's the 5? I don't know. I'm gonna just click here. We'll see where it is. Okay. This one, we have a very low camera, as you can see by super wide blur. So that limits us to a few countries, and the only country that does that in Europe is Switzerland. So with this greenness, nice looking landscape, we should be in Switzerland. And then one thing I definitely recommend, I mean, it doesn't really matter in this case, but is like using the topography to your advantage. So I see a lot of players like they just know it's Switzerland, they just click in the middle. But like clearly like we're not in the mountains here. Like these are hills, but like not mountains. So you wouldn't click in the white part, so it would make sense to click somewhere kind of in the northern half of the country. And I don't know, it doesn't really give you many points in this scenario, but it can be super helpful. Next round, we have US Canada. So this kind of landscape, very flat, is kind of pretty reminiscent of the Great Plains, but which kind of extends from kind of west of this line here up into Canada. The good thing is that Canada has some things that make it distinct, specifically on signposts that kind of look like this, rectangular ones, with this white triangle that is called a tooth by some people in the community. If you see the tooth, you're in Saskatchewan. So that is like pretty clear there. And then yeah, we're looking south onto a river. I think this could actually be interesting to find, but I'm not gonna look too long. Yeah, we'll find out. Okay, it was cool. But yeah, Saskatchewan has that on a lot of their signs. Next up, we are gonna be in the Philippines. This one is important because the Philippines has got to be one of the most distinct countries in the world. So they like almost always use concrete roads, just lighter pavement sectioned off like this. They have a ton of trikes slash tuk-tuks, as you can see here. And they drive on the right side of the road, which is slightly uncommon for Asian countries. Yeah, it's a tropical country, of course, and then they use like mainly English. There's Tagalog, but yeah, they use English, so that's the main thing here. Should be Tagalog, but yeah, let's see. Pasay City, I don't recognize that. I don't know where this is honestly, but I'll go south. Okay. Nice. Moving on, we have yellow front plates that are long with the blue European Union stripe thing. We have them on the front and back. That is important because in the UK they have it on the back, but not in the front. So this will not be the UK. But we also have Dutch kind of on everything, and then this pavement is very, very Dutch. All these road markings are extremely Dutch. I don't really know how to, like, I'm not sure if it helps by me just saying it's Dutch, but it is. So, yeah, okay. Moving on. Here we go with blue car with short antenna, which is common in some European countries as well as South Africa. So this one will be South Africa. South Africa loves to do this thing with their road lines where they have like two white lines, and then even in the middle of that they have like white dashed lines. So they got the solid lines and then the dashed lines. I can't think of another country that does that. So that is South Africa specific. They also use stop signs. It's important to look at roadside because like this one is clearly set up for the left side of the road, and that, you know, limits it quite a bit. And then from here we have what looks to be sugarcane, which actually can be helpful in terms of distribution. I don't know the distribution in South Africa, but I think it might be more near Durban, kind of on the southern coast, or maybe a little bit more north, but I'm not quite sure. Anything else I can say? Not really. Yeah, that's kind of it for this round. Okay, near Durban. That's nice. Next round we have the silver car. I think we had it in the last time, but this silver car, sometimes it appears white, but is only found in Bhutan, and that makes quite a bit of sense, you know, with the landscape. We're obviously up on the mountain, which is helpful, and then I mean the architecture is usually like flat, like metal roofs, I guess. Well, not always flat, but metal roofs. So yeah, this makes quite a bit of sense. I think it might be one of the towns in the south. I don't know. This is probably a bad guess. Well, I don't know. Right, this is definitely a bad guess. Okay, actually it wasn't. Okay. But yeah, here we go with yellow outside road lines, white inside road lines, which are extremely common in the Middle East and in Southern Africa. Though Southern Africa drives on the left, and so we can see the cars driving on the left here. This one is driving on the left, this one's passing it, but I mean this one's driving on the left. And then as for where in Southern Africa, this one should be Botswana. As to why, honestly just vibes here. If you see a lot of Botswana, you'll start to recognize it. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. That's more Botswana than South African here. If you go South Africa as a beginning, this is not a bad mistake, but yeah, it should be Botswana, and then, I don't know, is it this road? Is it this road, or is it somewhat like over here? Surely it's not that. I don't even know at this point. We'll see. Okay, it was this road, just further down. This one. Oh, okay. Well, we have Japanese here. It looks very similar to Chinese, but not. Also not Korean. Then we have the Japanese pole marking. We have the low camera, which in Asia is mostly almost fully Japan. I don't know, the landscape looks very Japanese. All of Japan pretty much is like slightly hilly with, yeah, these are very Japanese trees with like very vegetated like hillsides. Like they'll never really be cleared off. I don't know, everything is very Japanese here. They're set up for the left side of the road. Let's see if I can narrow it down within Japan. I can't really read the pole plates. There's a transformer there. Not really much to go off of, so I mean, probably just click central. Okay, a little bit west of me. Nevertheless, it's a fine guess. Next one we have what looks to be Russia. Yeah, Russia and the Baltic countries have a lot of these A-frame poles. The Baltic countries being these three here, where there's a straight pole and then a leaning pole combined to it. Another thing Russia likes to do is they do these bollard spam. So right near an intersection, they will have a freaking ton of bollards. So you got 1, 2, blah, 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 blah. I'm not even going to count them. It's probably like 10. But it's a goddamn lot of bollards, okay? Nobody knows why they need that much, but they do. Then we got Cyrillic here, which is used by all the, Russian area countries. And then we have the short antenna, which is very common. And if you want to get into region guessing Russia, you can learn antenna types. This one is C-type, which is usually nearer to Moscow. This might be a bad guess. I don't know. I went north of it. It's a little bit north. But yeah, that's a bit niche. Okay, here we go. We got the Ghana black tape on the rack of the car. If you don't see that, what are some other things to identify? They mostly have yellow license plates. I'm trying to think of other things that they would have. I don't know. But then you see how it's like really red, so it feels pretty dry climate. So it's kind of like separated, like the northern third is dry, and then the bottom two halves are pretty tropical, especially the southwestern area of the country. And then I think it's a tamale on the sign, so I mean it should be near tamale, at least. Okay, well it's on the. I mean that might have just been the PO box or I don't know, nearest big city. But that is fine. Next round we got looks very cool. Rainbow, shout out. Might be avoiding these crosswalks. Just kidding. Okay, so what are we looking like? Okay. Immediately I'm getting like Pacific Northwest kind of vibes. So yeah, how to get that? The architecture. Yeah, I guess they often have these like lighter colors. I don't really know how to explain this, to be honest. But oh, you got mountains here. Okay, so you have mountains. So you know if you're in kind of North America, you have to be on the west. And then it's very, very green. Lots of trees, which kind of indicates kind of the more this area. And then as for where, honestly, I'm not sure. I've been looking around for a minute. But this transformer, which faces the road, if we are in Canada, which I think we are, that is only in British Columbia and New Brunswick, and obviously it's not New Brunswick, so it should be British Columbia. The thing that should confirm this as Canada, though, is the yellow solid line in the middle. In the US, this would usually be 2 solid lines in the middle, or it would be just dashed lines, or it would be 1 solid line, 1 dashed line. You'd almost never find 1 completely solid line. So that's kind of, yeah, what makes this one unique. I don't actually know where we are, though, which would be cool to find out. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. This cool town over here. Next round, we have the French bollards. They're very, very thick. These ones don't have the red on them, but they don't always have to, you know? So yeah, that's just that shape. And then you have dashed lines on the outside, which is relatively common in France. Not all the time, but they do have it sometimes. And then you have French here. That's about it. The poles sometimes have blue stickers on them. I'm not sure if we can see that from here, but that can be a useful tip. Now, here's where we use the compass and the topography to our advantage. So there are big mountains south, which is really interesting for France. So not all the country is mountainous, usually just the south part. But we're pretty flat, like dead flat, except for the big mountain south. So that makes me think that it's the Pyrenees Mountains, because right here you can see on the map it's very flat, and then this is very mountainous. If you go around here, like, yes, you get big mountains, but this area isn't even flat. It's hilly, you know? And we're using the fact that the mountains are south of us to help us as well. But then again, I could be wrong. I am basically right, though. So, yeah. Okay, here we go. We have the French flag car, which usually it's blue on the side, white on the side, red on the side. This is primarily found in Sri Lanka. And what confirms is that Sri Lanka, these crazy wacky ass road lines are only found in Sri Lanka where it zigzags like this. Sri Lanka also has all their signposts are black and white striped, which few other countries do. And they have a lot of these tiled roof houses. I don't see any language here, but these palms are very, very common in Sri Lanka. They're like circular palms. I don't know how to explain them. Very common in Southeast Asia, and I guess in parts of Brazil. But yeah, and it's very flat. So most of the country is not flat. So the parts this could be are north of Colombo. It could be the East Coast, and it could be all the way north. So we're gonna kind of hedge it up pretty far north. And that works to our advantage. So nice, nice, nice. Moving on. We get Greek language here. There's a few characters that you can distinguish between Greek and Cyrillic, which some beginners kind of have trouble with. But this triangle one, I think the E one here, those are all Greek and not anything else. And then, yeah, Greece, on their road signs, a lot of them are blue with yellow text. I don't know if that is the same style that they usually are. And then their telephone poles are usually wooden poles. They're usually super, super tall. I don't know if we can see any in the distance, but like you can usually see them from a distance. You're like, sometimes they're like so tall, you're like, why do they need to be that tall? And nobody really knows. This black car in the back, I think I remember usually being Peloponnese. Is that what this one's called? I don't know, this island, but I could be wrong too. Okay, it was wrong. You know, sometimes we gotta take the L. Here we go though. We have a black car. We have a para vivir mejor, Sergio. So vote for Sergio. But we have Spanish. So black car with Spanish is Peru, Argentina, Uruguay. And then if it's this dry, then you're thinking, you know, the Peruvian area. As well as this black and white signpost, which is only in Peru. I don't know why there's nothing at the top here, but that's just how it is. And so this looks to be an interesting mountain valley. So I'm kind of trying to figure this one out. I think I've seen stuff like this over here, but I'm not really sure. We'll find out though. Okay. I was along the right river. Nice. I like me some Peru. Here we go. Next round. We have what looks to be a US or Canada with yellow road lines in the middle. And short license plates, which is actually pretty rare in terms of the world. Most of Asia, most of all of Europe do not use short plates. Sheriff, that sounds like something that maybe, are they called sheriffs in Canada? I don't even know. But this feels American to me, just vibes. If you have, let's see if this works. Yeah, if you have a Gen 3 car and you have the blur, then you can look at the like little mirror blurs, and if all sides have just one bump instead of two, then you should be in the US. If they have one of them has two bumps, then you're in Canada. That's a stupid little meta there, but it's true. So, yep, that one is Oklahoma. I am never ever in my life getting Oklahoma there, but Eastern Oklahoma can look a little bit strange. Next round, we got some funky Denmark. Denmark loves their brick houses, as does, you know, Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, Northern France, kind of that area. And then this style of sign, veg, the ending VEJ is only found in Denmark. They usually use blue street signs with white text, sometimes not. And then a lot of their signs are like, you know, it's like a pole and it's like hanging. That's kind of the style they do, as well as having a lot of triangles like at small intersections. Some other countries in Europe do that. And then there might be a bollard here. Oh yeah, their signs for towns are usually red bordered with white in the middle and red text. And then most of the country is not hilly. I think the north is the hilliest part, but I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll guess up here. Okay, well, clearly not because it's this random island in the south, but that's why you don't try and region guess. Freaking Denmark. Here we go. We have the Taiwanese pole with the yellow and black swirly stripes going all the way down to the bottom. In addition to this, they often have skinny roads with white on the outside. These palms they're really tall, that kind of look cool like this, are often called these are called areca palms, and they're very common in Taiwan. So that's another good clue. And then Taiwan does use short plates, and they drive on the right, which is kind of weird for the rest of, or not weird, but kind of different from the rest of Asia, from a lot of the rest of Asia. So that's kind of how it can be distinguished. I'll do a few more. This one we have the gray car with the roof rack, which can be found in Guatemala, Kyrgyzstan, very dry. So this will be Kyrgyzstan. And Kyrgyzstan also, a lot of license plates have a red strip. So Kyrgyzstan and Albania, I think, do that. But yeah, what else? Yeah, so the car is the main thing. If you find a dirty car mirror, you're from either Jalalabad west up to kind of Taskamur area. So that is the area we'll be looking at today in this round, and you know, maybe it's findable. Wait, I feel like I kind of want to find this. Let me look for a few seconds, and then I'll give up, most likely. Okay, well, that's not it. Yeah, it could be this road. I don't know. I'm probably gonna give up. We'll see. Okay, it was down here. Interesting, small road. Okay, here we go. We are on a bridge. The good thing is we have some architecture here. These red barn houses are very common in Sweden, but also the neighboring countries, like could be Norway here. As with a lot of birches, these very northern trees, that makes quite a bit of sense. It is decently hilly for Sweden, usually not a very hilly, elevated country. And when it is, it's usually close to the Norway border, generally. So I'm thinking of either Norway or, you know, Western Sweden. But it's really hard to tell here. There's not a lot to distinguish, but my vibes are telling me Sweden. We'll see. Okay, well, it's not even close to Norway. Ignore what I just said. Sometimes in Europe, I try to do more region guessing than I should. Very common phenomenon with me. But it is what it is. This one is really interesting. That looks like that would be Hungarian language, which is interesting. Kishegies, like EGYES. They do a lot of EG. I think they do a lot of S endings. But we don't have an antenna, which is very common in Serbia and North Macedonia. So I do think this is Serbia. But maybe we're on the Hungarian border. I think I'm just going to try that just for fun. We'll see, though. Okay, well, we're kind of far north, but not really on the border. Next round, we have this pole with circles in it. This pole has, like the levels to it. You can see like the bars here, and it has circle indentations. That is a Portuguese thing. You can see it on all the poles here, really. Portugal also uses black and yellow chevrons here, very common. They're in like a few other countries in Europe, but not many. I think Norway, Luxembourg, and Turkey are the only ones I can think of that would use it. But this is the biggest one. It also, I think it does say .pt there. But yeah, everything here points to Portugal. They often have very white architecture with red tiled roofs. They have sidewalks that are like really patterned. I don't know, I guess. So yeah, and it's kind of hilly, so not the southern half, probably. So yeah, it's kind of halfway up the country. Next round, we have a shitty camera quality, which is most common in India, especially with this huge car. So, yep. And then we have the Indian style pole here, which is that it goes one bar up, and then the others make like an upside down trapezoid without the connecting part, I guess. If that's a way to describe it, even. Who knows? But in terms of where, it's a hard country or region guess. So let me just go straight off of vibes and just full confidence say it's Maharashtra. Okay, turns out I'm the go to India, and it is Maharashtra. But yeah, keep moving. We have these same poles I mentioned that were Baltic and Russia, also probably Ukraine, I think. And we have the antenna again. What else is there to say? It looks quite Russian. There's Russian over here. There's quite a few bollards over here. Sometimes there will be a little black paint at the bottom of these signs, but nothing I can quite see here. And then smudges sometimes can help tell you where you are in Russia, but I'm not that advanced. So I either go like here or I go like here. I'm probably gonna get this wrong, so I'll just guess here and I'll be wrong. Okay, it was the other place I said. Okay, I don't like Russia. Or Russian. Or no, that's not true. Here we got these characters which, well, how do I say this? How do I explain? Okay, so we have, this is Bengali language. Bengali language looks like some of the other languages near it, like the ones in India, although it is different because it has a lot of characters that have triangles in it. So if you see a triangle character, like a clear triangle like this one, then you're pretty guaranteed to be in Bangladesh. If you're not, you're probably in West Bengal. But you can tell the difference by the camera quality. So that's it. And then it's 2020. If you want to get more advanced, you can look at the copyright. 2022 copyright is relatively rare in Bangladesh. It's usually near Mymensingh. It's somewhat near Dhaka, or it's kind of the southeast part near Comilla, down to Chittagong, some other places. I don't actually know which one this is, but I feel like it'd be kind of cool if I go Chittagong / Chattagram, what it used to be called, and it's right, but we'll see. Okay, it was kind of in this region, so not too bad. Okay, here we have Europe, where I will probably be clueless. It looks pretty nice, pretty modern, I guess. Maybe not modern, I don't know. But it looks nice, so we're thinking Western Europe. That's kind of crazy, but we have a biker. So that could mean the Netherlands. It looks a little bit hilly for the Netherlands, surprisingly enough. Richmond. Except for the UK. It has to be considered. The cars look like they're driving on the right, though. So, yep. And DIJK is the ending of this name, which should mean we are in the Netherlands. Germany could be an option, but the copyright is 2022. Germany only got its coverage starting in 2023. So, That is not possible, so it should be here. Oh. Oops, it was Belgium. Don't. Oh, wait, I just realized there were no yellow plates. Forget that round. That never happened. We're going to move on. And here we go to short plates, which are very common in the Americas. We have the octagonal pole, which is almost always Mexico. If not, it's Colombia, but it's like almost always Mexico. So just trust it, all right? What more? I don't know. Everything's very Mexican. It's Spanish. The pole is the main thing. The short plates are also very very Mexican. As to where, um, I don't know. Mexico's hard. There's no area code. I'll probably just go a little bit north of. I'll go Leon. That doesn't seem right. I'll go Aguascalientes. I don't know. We'll find out. Oh my god, it's on the border. Okay. That's why I gotta get better at Mexico. This one should be Bolivia. It has white car. Which is Bolivia, Peru, Chile. With the Spanish. What else? The landscape feels very Bolivian. I don't even know what else to say, but you'll pick up a vibe for the countries. I was hoping there would be something else that I could say. Well, it says Bolivia here, so that's kind of a good clue. Puñeta's here. Wait, let's see. Distrito Paracaya. Let's see if this is possible. Oh, Paracaya. Okay. Wait, so we're like here? We were indeed there. Nice, nice. I'll play one or two more, I think. Let's do one more. White car, but you look at the language, this is clearly not Spanish, so the other options, at least in Asia for white car, are Malaysia and Philippines. That's kind of usually where it is. So, that being said, we're driving on the left, so it should be Malaysia. Malaysia's license plates, usually you can see one black stripe going down the middle. With Indonesia, it'd be two, so that can be helpful in distinguishing the two. Obviously, a very tropical country. And then I think if you see this telephone pole where it has one section, two section, and they're kind of equal, you can see them here. That is only in the province of Sabah, so that is quite useful actually. And then it looks like it says Kota Marudu. Looks like it says this. So no, that's how I might narrow it down a little bit more. Let's see if this is actually findable. So now you just have to line the road up, maybe. Huh. I don't know if I have this one in the bag, to be honest, guys. I'm not finding too much. It's not here, is it? I don't know, guys. I can't find it, so I'm just gonna click here. Okay, it was just north. But yeah, that's some solid advice, I hope. Here we go. We have a Kenya. Kenya often has this massive blur. It's not low cam, but it's massive. And then Kenya uses English. I don't know. You can look around and gather some clues. Gikumbi, I think might be a place. What else to say about this round? This is kind of difficult because it's fairly urban, but I don't know. Kenya makes the most sense. Yeah. What else is there to say? Really, not a whole lot. So yeah, maybe I'll look for Gikumbi for a second, and then I'll probably just end up clicking Nairobi because I don't know where it is. Yeah, that's probably what I'll end up doing. Oh my god, it was Rwanda. That's why I was confused. Guys, don't even think about that round. Oh, that hurts. Oh, that's bad. Okay, we're gonna start over. Wow, my thought process was so poor there. Here we go, though. Here we go. We have the black car, but what we do have is yellow outside with white inner. So I mentioned that's Southern Africa or the Middle East, but with black car, well, Southern Africa would all be white cars. So with black car, we have to be in the Middle East, and Jordan is the only country that uses this car. So that's helpful. And then we're surrounded by mountains on our east, so it's likely to be pretty far south, I think. Yeah, that's my thought process because the far south has a lot of this. Yeah. Is there an airport over here? It doesn't look like it, but I'm still going to click here anyways. We'll see where it is. Oh, it was just near the lake, which also gets hilly. I am selling incredibly hard. It doesn't matter. We have Korean language with the circles. We have a national park that I will not be able to find because I'm a bum. Yeah, the main thing is the language here. And then, yeah, they drive on the right. Yeah, the language is the thing for identifying it. And then with guessing within the country is pretty much impossible. But I'm going to attempt it for no real reason. Come on. Please find me. National Park. What actually? This looks like a big national park. Let's find this, y'all. Let's find this. Night Young Sun. That's not it. Alright, guys. We're not finding it, so let's just guess. Oh my god, it's downtown. So how did I not look there? Nobody knows. Okay. Here we have what looks like Thai, but Thai drives on the left. Cambodia drives on the right, but Cambodia doesn't use yellow license plates. So this will have to be Vientiane, which is the only city covered without a gray car in Laos. Laos has very minimal coverage, and it's all in the cities. It's an important city to know about, though, because, I mean, you can get it. And yeah, that's all. Let's see where it is, though. I don't know about this. Maybe it's all the way south. We'll see. Okay, it's more down near the downtown. Next city we get, or next, what do we get next? Looks like Peru. Off rip. Yeah, Peru sometimes has yellow license plates, although Colombia does too. This looks a lot drier than Colombia would be, though. So, and then this kind of brick architecture is more common in the kind of Peru, Bolivia area. Yeah, these style of houses, I guess. And then as for vibes, maybe Ayacucho area. I don't know. We'll see. Huancayo. Okay, not too bad. Here we go with what looks like Baltic Russia, or Baltic countries with the dirt road, antenna, the pole, which sometimes it's just two of them leaning up against each other. And it looks like we have hooks on each alternating side here, which is a Latvian thing. And then Latvia is very, very flat. But this looks even slightly hilly for Latvia. So for some reason, I'm going to try to guess within Latvia. I'm thinking all the way east or all the way west. And if it's all the way west, I end the video. Oh, it's not. Okay, we'll play one more. First round we get here. We have a Chile. These poles are Chilean. a lot of it is just normal pole, and then it becomes like sectioned off, kind of in the style of Brazil. There's no Portuguese here though, of course. And then we get signs for the letter roads, which are super common in Chile, and then you can kind of look for them. They go by alphabetical order. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. So I see I here. So we got to be down here, you know? And you see the J60 here. And we're getting close. I'm not going to really pinpoint it though, so it should be around here. And it is. Next round, we have long dashes, which are common in Norway, only in Norway. And then we have the Swedish-Norwegian snow pole, as well as the, Scandinavian type architecture. As for Norway, this is not super hilly mountainous, so it should be kind of far south and towards the east side of the south, likely. Well, not actually. Trondheim is also kind of flat, so flatter. Next round we have, I'll run through these quickly, but we have no car, no antenna. So Serbia, North Macedonia are the options. North Macedonia is usually pretty mountainous, whereas Serbia is not and has more agriculture like corn. So yeah, should be central to northern Serbia. So let's see about something like this. Okay, it's right about central. Two more games. We have the antenna, which is Colombia, Ecuador, Mexico, Brazil. But the rest of it's incredibly difficult. We have a short plate, so I'm liking Mexico here. And then we have this tree yucca, I think, which is common in Mexico and not common in the others. So vegetation kind of plays a part here. Yeah, these are really interesting. So as for where in Mexico, honestly, no idea. I'm thinking of Puebla area, or if not, like Hidalgo. I don't really know though. Okay, damn it, it was Puebla. I should have gotten that one. Okay. Last round we'll end off with is going to be Australia, where we have these white stick bollards with the red, which can also be found in like Turkey. But Australia uses all white lines, so outside, inside, everything. So those are a good combo for this, and then it's very flat, so I think I'm leaning kind of Victoria, New South Wales. South Australia has specific telephone poles, and then Western Australia usually has really red soil, and this does not appear to be either of those. But let's see. These trees are giving me the vibe of this part west of Melbourne in Victoria. Of Melbourne, should I say. That was a terrible accent. Forgive me, Australians. But yeah, I'm gonna go for this road. Let's see. I think that is a good way to end the video. If I had clicked the intersection here, I would have gotten 5,000 points, but that's fine. So yeah, that's all I got. Thank you for watching.